times that diversification is important, but how do you actually do it? Today, we're going to move past just the idea of diversification and look at the real practical structure that makes it all work, the investment portfolio. Let's get into it. Here's what we're going to cover. First up, we'll get a solid definition of what a portfolio actually is. Then, we'll use a simple everyday analogy, a toolbox, to make it click. After that, we'll apply that idea to investments and see exactly how the structure helps manage risk. And we'll wrap up with a really important reminder about what a portfolio can and can't do for you. So let's start with the big question. What exactly is a portfolio? Well, you can think of it as the container, the very thing that holds different investments together. It's what takes the abstract concept of diversification and turns it into a real, tangible structure. Okay, so the official definition is a collection of a wide range of assets. But the most important word on the screen, the one I really want you to focus on, is collection. That's the key. A portfolio isn't about owning one thing, it's about holding many different things together. You know, to really let that idea of a collection sink in, let's step away from the world of finance for just a minute. We're going to use a super simple, everyday analogy. So, how can we actually visualize this? Well, let's imagine you've got a job to do, but instead of investments, you're just working with tools. Think about it like this. If all you have is a hammer, that's great for hammering nails, but that's pretty much it. Now, what if you have a toolbox? The toolbox itself isn't a tool, right? It doesn't do any work. It's just a collection of tools, a hammer, a wrench, a screwdriver. Its real power is that it holds all these different useful items together, so you're ready for whatever job comes up. Okay, so let's take that exact same logic, the single hammer versus the whole toolbox, and apply it directly to how we think about investments. So here's the connection. Holding just a single investment is like only having that hammer. Everything depends on that one thing doing its job. But holding a portfolio, well, that's like having the entire toolbox. It's the structure that lets you hold a whole collection so you can spread your dependence across lots of different things instead of piling it all onto just one. This brings us to the really crucial question. How does having this structure, this toolbox, actually help manage risk? It all comes down to how that collection is held together. Let's use one more quick analogy here. Just picture your portfolio as a simple basket. And inside that basket, you're holding a bunch of different items. It's a really good way to visualize everything being held together in one place. Okay, so you have your basket. Now imagine a problem pops up. But, and this is the important part, it only affects one of the items in the basket. Maybe one piece of fruit gets bruised, but everything else, the bread, the cheese, it's all totally fine. See? Because the problem was contained to just that one little spot, the rest of the collection is completely okay. The basket as a whole is still strong. And that is the fundamental purpose of a portfolio. It's a structure built so that a problem in one area doesn't bring the whole thing crashing down. It isolates the risk. And that brings us to our last section, which is maybe the most important one of all. To really understand what a portfolio is for, you absolutely have to understand its limits. This quote really says it all. A portfolio is a tool for managing risk, not for eliminating it. And that is a huge, huge distinction. It's not a magic shield. So let's be perfectly clear on these 3 points. A portfolio does not, I repeat, does not remove all risk. It also does not guarantee safety in any way. What it is a structure designed to help you manage how that risk is spread out. That's its job. If you're following this series step by step, you can subscribe to NeuralTarot. So the big takeaway here is that a portfolio isn't just some vague idea. It's the actual container you use to put diversification into practice. Now that we know what it is, what are some of the common traps people fall into? Well, in our next explainer, we're going to dig into the common mistakes beginners make when they think about portfolios.